In our digital world, the most secure vaults aren't made of steel. They're built from code. And the most sophisticated thieves, well, they don't need a getaway car.
See, they just need the right words, a carefully crafted key.
Something slipped into the data stream, hidden in plain sight.
That's all it takes to turn an AI from a trusted partner into the perfect inside agent.
All right, so let's break down this digital heist. You know, every great heist starts with a target. And in our story, that target is the large language model, an incredibly powerful tool that has a hidden exploitable flaw.
And here's the thing about this vulnerability. It isn't a bug in the traditional sense. No, it's way more fundamental. It's a weakness baked into the very way these models process language. It means any input can be interpreted as a new instruction, forcing the model to act completely against its own programming.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, the distinction here. Think of it like this. Prompt injection, that's like talking a guard into opening one specific locked door for you. But jailbreaking? Oh, that's a whole other level. That's convincing the guard to just hand over the entire ring of keys and walk off the job. One alters behavior, the other completely shatters the rules.
So the big question is, how does the thief actually get inside? Well, the blueprint shows us there are basically two main ways in. Two primary methods for bypassing all those digital locks.
First up, you've got the inside job. This is a direct attack, where a malicious user is right there, crafting the perfect prompt to exploit the model. But then you have the Trojan horse, and this one is sneaky. It's an indirect attack, where the AI just picks up a hidden payload from somewhere else, maybe a website it's summarizing for you or a PDF it's analyzing, and the user, they have absolutely no idea it's even happening.
Okay, so we have the blueprint. Now it's time for the execution. And this is where the real creativity and the real danger of these exploits comes to life.
Think about it, a simple command, just like this one, buried deep inside a totally normal-looking customer support query. That's all it takes. Suddenly, it can escalate its own privileges, turning a helpful chatbot into a full-blown inside agent with access to your most sensitive data.
But believe me, it gets way more sophisticated. An attacker could find a way into, say, an LLM-powered email assistant, and they wouldn't just be reading your emails. They could be changing them or using that access to hop into other connected systems.
And of course, to get past the system's defenses, the digital guards, attackers have to get really creative. We're talking about hiding instructions by translating them into other languages, encoding them in base 64, or, and this is wild, even using a specific sequence of emojis. Anything to bypass the AI's filters.
So, what's the fallout from all this? Well, the consequences are huge. We are talking about massive leaks of private information, unauthorized access to core system functions, and even the manipulation of critical decisions. And here's the most important part. The damage isn't just digital. No, this spills out and affects real-world outcomes, all based on faulty, malicious, AI-generated information.
Okay, so we've seen the breach. Scary stuff. So now we have to pivot to the response. How do you actually build a vault that's strong enough to protect these assets?
Look, there's no single silver bullet here. The only real defense is a layered one. It all starts with constraining the model's behavior, boxing it in. You tell it exactly what its job is and to ignore any attempts to change those core instructions. Then, you validate its outputs, you control its privileges, seriously, treat it like an intern, not the CEO, and you absolutely always have a human in the loop for high-risk actions. And finally, you have to test your own defenses by thinking like the attacker.
But in this cat and mouse game, the attackers are always evolving. So what's the next frontier?
So far, we've been focused entirely on words, on text. But the future of AI, well, it's multimodal. It doesn't just read, it sees and it hears too.
Just imagine this for a second. A malicious prompt embedded within the pixels of an image, or a high-frequency sound in an audio file. Both of them are completely invisible, completely unaudible to a person. But to the AI, it's a crystal-clear command. This, right here, is the new battleground, and it expands the attack surface exponentially.
So you see, understanding these vulnerabilities isn't just a job for security experts anymore. It's for anyone building, using, or even just trusting these incredibly powerful new tools. Because in this ongoing digital heist, the prize isn't just data, it's control.